Trevor, this team got so close to the Grey Cup last year, getting to the West Final.
Mm-hmm.
What's different this year that you guys can take that next step?
Like I said, continuity. It's, that we get to all play a year together, and we kept a decent amount of our, core guys healthy. We had our fair share of injuries, but, obviously with Sam and Shafe and, rolling at the end of the year and Sales kind of being banged up, but our guys are healthy now and excited to get going here in the West Final.
How important is it to have this West Final here in Regina this time around?
It's awesome. It really is awesome. It's one of those things that my first year here, we won the East when I was in Toronto, and kind of just took it for granted. I was like, man, we didn't win the East. Or in 13 we won in the East, and you don't win the East for a while, and then come over to the West. It's the same thing. It's one of those things where it's really nice to be able to kind of let some guys get healthy. You got to get past the jealousy of the other teams getting to play the week before, but obviously they're vying for the spot there, and you just get an extra week of prep and use it wisely.
How important was it for you to get that one half against this Lions defense, because you hadn't seen them for a while?
It was only a quarter and a half. Make sure you tell Mason. It's about just staying in rhythm, making sure you're in rhythm, understanding what you're seeing out there, and I feel like we're kind of cooking at this point in the year, and it's just on us to make sure that we continue to do that. And if we're not on our details, then they'll shut us down, because they have great personnel over there. They have a great scheme, and I have a lot of respect for Benny, and so it'll be a fun one this Saturday.
Taylor, you mentioned continuity, but through the injuries, it seems like minus Keyshawn, who wasn't out here today, got your full weaponry back. How great is that going to be able to have success on this weekend? Yeah,
it's something that is very underrated, is the guys that have done a tremendous job stepping up for Sam and Shafe during the year, and when Dante was out and when Keyshawn's out, we have guys that come in and there's nobody flinching, no batting eyes, and we just come out there and just execute. And so the fact that we've got Sam, Shafe, Dante, and who knows with Keyshawn, we're fired up about where we're at, but at the same time, it's still on us to make sure we go out and execute the game plan, and make sure we're utilizing those guys' strengths and putting them in the ability or in positions to make plays, and staying ahead of the chains, and not turning the football over, doing all the things that we kind of talk about.
What has been the personality of this offense, maybe given all the in and outs that have happened throughout this entire season, to be able to culminate it into one game?
That's a great question. I mean, the easy thing is the cliche of the next man up thing, which, of course, your next man up. Nobody's going to play one man down, so one of those pet peeves of mine. It's yeah, of course we're next man up, so, but we just have a non-flinching mentality, non-flinching culture here. Is regardless of who's in there, we have a culture of what the standard is and what the expectation is, and if you're in there, regardless if you're playing through injury or whatever it is, you better perform if you're out there.
Did you notice anything different specifically today, or as the West Final week is now here after the last 2 weeks or last week of a bye week, if you want to call it that, and then 2 weeks prior to coming in? It's
one of those things you can just feel in the air. Yeah. It's not, I don't approach right now any different than I do training camp, and I don't approach it any different than I do the regular season. And if you do, then you're not trying your hardest. That never made sense to me. It's turn it up a notch. You better try your hardest at all times. This is pro football. There's a lot on the line, and so but you can feel it in the air. You sure can, and obviously the coldness that's out here, and we know it's going to be quite the freezing day out here on Saturday, which fires us all up, and so it's going to be exciting. It's playoff football at its finest, and welcome to Regina.
But I feel like even watching practice over the last few weeks, this team really hasn't taken the foot off the gas, so to speak. Last week, you guys were amped up, chasing after the ball. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like a week off, per se, where you're just going through the motions. Yeah,
it's never made sense to me to take the foot off the gas at all. It's, stay in rhythm, be who you are, execute. Okay, if you take your foot off the gas at all, then I feel like that becomes a habit, and you are what you repeatedly do. And so, excellence is a habit, just like if you're going to be, a lazy player. And so we have a culture there that Coach Mace has kind of set, and we just come out here and just play hard every day, no matter what.